22-year-old Deja Jenkins was found brutally murdered in Lowell.
I knew something was wrong. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what, but I knew something was wrong.
22-year-old Deja Jenkins is described by family and friends as loving, outgoing, very uplifting, and someone they could always rely on. She recently became a mother to a beautiful 2-month-old baby girl and was excited to begin her journey of motherhood. During her teenage years, she began an on and off again 8-year relationship with 22-year-old Leonard Robertson, a Boston rapper who went by the name Pole Boy D. Rose. He also had a history of 3 violent crime convictions and would often portray himself as a killer as well as being active in the streets. The relationship was said to be both verbally and mentally abusive in nature. However, the couple eventually had a child together. Deja hoped that things would eventually get better between the two, even after he got another woman pregnant. In 2020, Deja and her boyfriend were pulled over by a Massachusetts state trooper who noticed missing tags on her vehicle. After a registration check, the vehicle was flagged for being uninsured and had to be towed. During the search of the vehicle, a gun was located on the floor of the passenger seat, and they would both be arrested after neither would claim the weapon. Both were arrested and received multiple firearm offenses. Deja was eventually released and will continue to stand by Leonard's side, oftentimes using Facebook as a way to express her feelings for him. April of this year, she posted, "Today's a special day. An Aries was born. Today's my best friend, my lover, my boyfriend, partner in crime, my headache, my worst enemy when we on bad terms, my first love, last but not least, the father of our baby, 22nd birthday today. I'm really not going to go on a rant about this man because if you know, you know. We've been in each other's lives since we were 13, and everything I was repping right behind him, that's my Clyde. He isn't perfect, but he's worth it all, and I'll go to war for him because I know he will do the same thing for me, for sure, with no questions asked. No one is perfect. A relationship isn't perfect, but dealing with him, he taught me so much, and I learned from him. I love this boy with all my heart, no matter how many times you may see me dogging him out. Trust me, he deserved it. I'm happy and still shocked that we have our own little family now. I can watch you become a daddy. I think about it every day, all night, that we are about to be parents. I've matured in this situation with dealing with him. A lot of things don't get my energy as they did before because of what the heart wants, and we still here. None of you can get the time of day from me. I'm all his even before our blessing. Since I've been maturing, I also want to apologize to the rude person I was when I found out he had a baby on the way. That wasn't the way to act at all. That's an innocent baby who has nothing to do with anything and didn't ask to be brought into this world. But that is my baby's sibling, only by blood. Doesn't make me weak or anything. Just shows I'm becoming more of a woman. P.S. It's still forget his baby mother. Get off my page. Happy birthday. You'll be home soon. Don't count him out. Free Rose, Dorchester's favorite." Leonard was eventually released and required to wear a GPS ankle bracelet while adhering to a 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. curfew. Deja decided to spend the Thanksgiving holiday with her family in Dorchester, Massachusetts. On November 25th, around 1 a.m., Deja left her family's Dorchester home for the last time. She was on her way to Lowell, a city roughly an hour away. Thanksgiving Day came and went with no word from Deja. Her family began to worry after she and her daughter failed to show up for Thanksgiving dinner. Family members were eventually able to ping her location to a home located on 36 Llewellyn Street and immediately recognized the address. Deja's mother made the 1-hour drive to the home and drove past several times to see if anyone was inside. However, she noticed that the lights in the home were off, there were no cars in the driveway, and the doors were locked. For the next 24 hours, her family will continue to monitor her phone to see if it would ping at a new location. However, the location remained the same. They would eventually contact the police, requesting a wellness check at the home. As Lowell police made their way over, a family member entered the home through an unlocked window while also calling out to see if anyone in the home would respond. He would eventually head to the bedroom, where the door would be locked. After several attempts at kicking the door in, their worst nightmare came true.
A grieving family is asking for the public's help in finding the killer of 22-year-old Deja Jenkins. Police have said nothing about a suspect in the case since her body was discovered on Friday. WBZ's Tiffany Chan just spoke with the victim's mother and joins us live now with that story. Tiffany?
Yeah, and the Jenkins Minus family has no idea why someone would want to kill this 22-year-old woman the day after Thanksgiving. And with it happening so close to the holidays, the pain is just unbearable.
Just come forward. I'm not angry. I'm more mad that they won't come forward.
A mother's tearful plea for justice just days after 22-year-old Deja Jenkins Minus was found brutally murdered in Lowell.
I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what, but I knew something was wrong.
It was LaToya Minus' motherly instinct that led Lowell police to this home where her body was found Friday morning.
And they told me that my daughter, that she was stabbed.
Did they say by who?
No, I don't know yet.
The Middlesex District Attorney's Office is investigating, but tell us the killing doesn't appear to be random. While Minus has an idea of who might be responsible, she can't fathom why someone would want to kill this young mother, who, telling by this candlelight vigil, was so deeply loved.
She's very outgoing. She's loving. She's a very uplifting young lady.
Minus is now desperate for answers and has this message for her daughter's killer.
They just need to turn themselves in. I'm lost. I'm hurt. I'm numb. I'm angry. And I want justice for my baby and my grandbaby.
It was clear that Deja fought for her life, as the multiple slash wounds on her arms and hands were indicative of defense wounds. Initially, police were unable to locate her daughter, but she was later located and found safe in Boston. Shortly after her passing, her family and friends held a candlelight vigil in front of her childhood home.
Gathered outside of the victim's home here in Mattapan, lighting candles, comforting her mother, a 22-year-old woman, a new mother, taken far too soon, the pain too difficult to put into words. Hugs turned into uncontrollable sobs at a candlelight vigil near the Morton Street housing development. Relatives of Deja Jenkins Minus identified the 22-year-old as the woman brutally murdered in Lowell Friday. Her body, the Middlesex District Attorney says, was found inside a home with multiple stab wounds. Loved ones showed up by the dozens, blocking off a portion of Wood Bowl Avenue to mourn, not only for Jenkins Minus, but for her 2-month-old daughter, now without a mother. Investigators say her killing wasn't random. The crowd here in Mattapan praying for an arrest. Police in Lowell still looking for the suspect. Now, relatives tell us that Jenkins Minus does leave behind a 2-month-old daughter. They're rallying, doing everything they can to come up with donations to help this family get through the winter.
A neighbor who lived across the street from the home described seeing Deja enter the home carrying the baby in a baby bag before being let in, but she was never seen leaving back out. The neighbor also later saw a man sitting in a vehicle for roughly 20 minutes before driving away. The vehicle was identified as belonging to Deja and was later caught on surveillance camera roughly 10 minutes later. Surveillance video led police to believe that her boyfriend, Leonard Robinson, was the individual driving the vehicle and used data from his GPS tracking device to determine that he had in fact been at the home during the time the neighbor saw him sitting in her vehicle, as well as when Deja arrived to the home hours prior. The GPS also revealed he drove to multiple locations before finally cutting off the ankle monitor. A bolo was immediately put out for Leonard, and Boston police were eventually able to locate him at a home, with video of his arrest being recorded by a woman inside the home.
22-year-old Leonard Robinson stood before a judge inside Lowell District Court Tuesday morning to face the charge of murder for the death of 22-year-old Deja Jenkins Minus.
What we have in this situation, Your Honor, is that Deja is found in the house that he was living in alone, in his bedroom, which was locked when any witness or the police came to that location.
Prosecutors say the body of Jenkins Minus, the mother of a 2-month-old baby girl from Boston, was found Friday morning in this Lowell home off Llewellyn Street. Her death ruled a homicide by multiple sharp force injuries. Investigators believe she was killed by Robinson the day before on Thanksgiving.
What the medical examiner's office noted was that Deja's neck was fractured.
Robinson was described by prosecutors as an on-again, off-again boyfriend of Jenkins Minus. He was arrested in Boston. Deja's mother, LaToya Minus, was in court Tuesday. It was her request for a well-being check that led to police confirming her worst fear.
When arrested, Leonard claimed he hadn't seen Deja for 2 weeks, later changing his story saying that she came to his home Thursday, but he didn't let her in, so she left. The DA detailed the events that took place and revealed that the motive revolved around questions as to the paternity of Deja's 2-month-old daughter. Leonard, along with Deja, on his now deleted Facebook page, would post a series of subliminal messages leading up to the day of her murder. The post stated the following: "Ain't no way she forgot to mention she was dealing with more than one man when she got pregnant. I'm not playing daddy and I'm not playing house. As always, I wanted the DNA from the beginning. She gets mad and posts personal business all day long, and it's corny. I didn't even want to post this, and I usually let her live her best life on Facebook, even when she starts lying. But this is different. If you're going to perform, at least tell the audience the full story. All I'm saying is, girls are messy, petty, and wasn't ready for a kid, and it's sad that it shows on Facebook." He also went on to post, "Have your kids for you, don't do it for a man. Because when the man doesn't want you anymore, you shouldn't have the time to be chasing after the man or picking out flaws to throw on social media. Really, you should be putting that same energy into being a mother. That's all I have to say. If a man helps you with your kids and he's not the daddy, he loves you. A man that's not loyal to his kids is not loyal to anyone." Her very last post was the day before she was murdered. "I got this mommy thing on lock. My daughter will never need for anything. Can't wait to celebrate her first Thanksgiving tomorrow." Investigators believe Deja was murdered shortly after arriving to Leonard's home. The murder is said to have taken place in front of their daughter. According to court records, Leonard's attorney informed the judge that he feared for his safety at the Middlesex jail and requested to be transferred to a facility closer to his hometown of Dorchester. As of right now, he remains at the Middlesex jail and is due back in court on December 30th. Deja's daughter is now in the care of her mother.